Well, happy holidays, everyone, and also, the holidays. If you're heading home to family, there's a good chance politics is gonna come up at some point, and you might be dreading seeing relatives who voted for Trump and feeling frustrated after this election. Now, if only there was a way you could use these holidays to help your relatives see things from your perspective. Well, there is, thanks to science. Researchers have demonstrated some powerful ways to connect with people and understand each other, and these techniques were proven effective with marriage equality, with the civil rights movement, even in business negotiations. One of the pioneers was Marshall Rosenberg, who broke it down into 4 steps. Marshall also tended to do demonstrations with hand puppets, which is why we remember him fondly in photos like these. So, out of those 4 steps, step 1 is the hardest. Listening. You're gonna have to listen to your family. And then you're gonna have to recap what you're hearing so that they know you're listening. When you hear your uncle say Trump won't do anything to undermine gay marriage, don't argue, just recap. It sounds like you really trust Donald Trump. Why are you listening so much? Because the more they talk, the more open they'll be to what you have to say when you get to step 2. Feelings. That's all, just feelings. Your feelings, their feelings, just talk about feelings.
Feelings, nothing more than feelings.
Ask them, are you feeling confident about Donald Trump? Or are you feeling relieved the election's over? And then tell them, I'm feeling nervous about politics, and I feel exhausted from all the news. You can talk about what's making you scared and angry, and relatives might want to argue with you, but resist the urge to argue back. For now, you're just talking about feelings. Why do we care so much about feelings? Because that's what gets us to step 3, talking about needs. Not short-term needs like I need my family to denounce Trump, but big general life needs, like I need to be safe, or I need to connect with people, or I need to trust people. The goal here is for everyone to see that what you need and what they need are pretty similar. It can be hard to get people to their fundamental needs, but simple questions like why and how can do the trick. Ask your family why they voted like they did and how they think Trump will meet their needs. It may take a couple whys and hows to get from because he'll make America great again to because I want security for my family. The goal here is to find your common ground. Chances are you're in agreement about at least some fundamental needs. So if they bring up security, then you can talk about how Trump's appointments make you feel unsafe. So once you've listened, talked about feelings, connected over needs, you're finally ready for step 4, the ask. Make it a question, because people are more likely to respond to requests than demands. Would you be willing to read an article about why I'm so worried? Or would you be willing to meet my partner? Or would you put this bumper sticker on your car to support me? Make it specific, and remember to go through those first 3 steps before you get to the ask. They'll be way more likely to say yes if you've been talking. These requests might seem pretty small, but they're the start of a process, a dialogue that will continue over time. We know this works because we saw it with marriage equality. The research there showed that listening to people and then finding common ground helped them realize that same-sex couples want the same things out of marriage that they did, and that changed the way that they voted. Maybe your relatives already support LGBT issues. A lot of Trump voters do. This is a perfect opportunity to let them know how their vote hurt you. Now, I'm getting these 4 steps from Marshall Rosenberg, but he didn't invent them. They've been tried and true for decades, whether they come from a civil rights mediator or Andrew Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People, which is about getting people to say yes, yes throughout a conversation, or from David Fleischer, who led the research on marriage equality. These steps don't always work, but they're your best bet for making positive change at the next election. And there is one technique that definitely doesn't work: calling family names, accusing them, and making demands. By all means, save that stuff for when you're dealing with the government. But when it's family, telling them that they're wrong probably won't get them to change their minds. Science shows that the best time to prime people for an election is when the election isn't happening. So if you want to flip Congress in 2018, you can't wait till 2018. If you want to elect someone in 2020 who respects your rights, you can't wait. This holiday is your first best chance to do something positive for your rights, so let's get to work. Also, it helps to bring pie, so give that a shot too. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos and let me know your thoughts. I'm at Matt Baum on Twitter. You can also subscribe to my podcast, Defining Marriage, for a weekly chat about what's happening with LGBT rights, particularly marriage. And now, if you'll excuse me, it's turkey lurkey time. Tom Turkey went away, but he just came home.